Good morning from Soccersoy on the Lofoten Islands in northern Norway. This is our last bit of time in the Lofoten Islands, and then we are heading to Vesterålen. Very similar to the Lofoten Islands, just north and much less touristed, so we might have fewer crowds.
Even though we were already dealing with not too big of crowds.
Yeah, we're here in the early season, so there's really not too many people right now, which is wonderful. But when you do get stuck behind traffic, it can be a little frustrating. Today we've got a long day ahead of us, lots of driving ahead, and we're gonna do some pit stops along the way, so stick around. We're Karin and Jeremy, an average couple with average jobs and limited vacation time. When we take trips, we have 1 or 2 weeks, 3 if we're lucky, and we want to see and do as much as possible when we travel. Join us as we maximize our vacation time on Mapping It. One of the top things to do in the Lofoten Islands is to go hiking, and we've kind of been rained out a bit on our trip.
Yeah, we didn't really want to do the mountain hikes with the steps while they were wet.
Yeah, they can be very steep hikes, and steep hikes plus slippery stairs is just a recipe for disaster, at least for us.
But at this rest stop that we're at, you can do a little bit of a hike to get down to the shoreline.
So we're gonna go for a little bit of a hike to see what we can see and enjoy some views. Come with us.
Because it had been raining a lot, the ground was very boggy and muddy, making it hard to hike, but we still enjoyed the views. We turned around and followed the hiking trail to the other side of the rest area, where we found a beautiful lake.
You might even be lucky enough to find a waterfall on your hike.
Even if the weather isn't great for hiking steep trails up the mountains, there are still a lot of fun hiking opportunities all over Lofoten. Short hikes are a great way to break up a long road trip, and the lesser-known hikes are not as crowded, which is definitely a bonus. After our hike, we got back on the road.
Well, it's a bit rainy, so we're gonna have a little bit of a picnic lunch inside our car, and we've got a couple snacks that we picked up at the grocery store. I have something I've never seen before, Wasa BRUNOST sandwich. It's a type of brown cheese that's made from the leftover whey when cheese is made, and then it's boiled, the whey is boiled down into this sort of like caramelized brown color, so the cheese has a bit of a sweetness to it.
It's an acquired taste, though.
It is, it can be. I've had it since I was very young, so I'm used to it, but I've never seen it in this weird sandwich form, so I'm a little scared, actually. I'll give it a go. So this is the knäckebröd. It's not really filled as much as I thought either.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's really good. It's mostly like a very crunchy, weedy cracker. It's like kind of eating a very dry crouton made of wheat.
Yeah.
And then this BRUNOST cheese. It's the most mild thing. You wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
Like it has the majority of flavor is from the cracker, actually. Very good.
Sure.
I like this.
I got a more non-traditional flavor. I got taco. Definitely smells like taco seasoning.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. It's true to its word.
Is it very taco-y?
It's a pretty good, strong flavor.
Wow, I can smell it from here.
Yeah,
I
think it's probably a stronger flavor than yours.
Yeah, mine is very mild.
So yeah, this is actually pretty good.
I wish we had this in the U.S. It's a good palate cleanser. The last thing we have for lunch is KVIKK LUNSJ. Quick lunch. This is a very popular snack in Norway. It's often eaten when you go on a hike and you want a snack break. You have a KVIKK LUNSJ. This might look very familiar to some of you. Looks just like a Kit Kat, doesn't it?
Yep.
Here you go.
But you're not supposed to break it. You're supposed to eat straight into it. Unlike a Kit Kat. Just kidding.
He's just kidding.
Yeah.
But we did it anyways. Personally, I think there's more chocolate here than in a Kit Kat, and the chocolate is much better.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Kit Kats, you will love these, and you will be ruined for Kit Kat.
Yeah, you won't go back to Kit Kats after this.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to finish up lunch, and then we're going to get back on the road.
One of our favorite things to do on a road trip is have a picnic, but sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate. Shopping at a grocery store for picnic food is a great way to stay on budget, especially in a country like Norway where eating at restaurants can be pretty expensive. The great thing about road trips is that the journey is the destination. Norway has tons of beautiful scenery and excellent roads, so road tripping is a great way to see the country. Another great thing about road trips is all the fun pit stops you can make along the way, like visiting Henningsvær. Sadly, our audio wasn't working, but we said we made it to Henningsvær. Henningsvær is a small fishing village with lots of traditional architecture and a cool place to explore. One of the more unique features of this town is its fotballbanen, or soccer field, that is situated on the edge of a small island and has become very popular with photographers.
As a former soccer player, it's very cool to be here, but I feel a little out of practice. There's a ball here, although it's very old and very deflated, so I don't know if it's exactly a representation of my skill or not, but things didn't go so well. My ankles are hurting. Well, Henningsvær was a very charming town. There were lots of little shops you could visit. Now we're getting on the road heading to Vesterålen. We have about a 3.5-hour drive ahead of us.
We loved exploring Lofoten. We did so much but barely scratched the surface. We would have loved to stay longer, but Vesterålen was calling to us. Vesterålen is an archipelago north of Lofoten. It's very similar to the Lofoten Islands, but not nearly as popular, so it's a great place to get away from the crowds. You also have a great chance of seeing wildlife, so keep an eye out for birds, moose, and reindeer.
Welcome to our room in the Thon Hotel Andrenes. Right inside we have a nice seating area where you can either put shoes on or store your luggage. Some coat hooks. Also a little hidden storage for some more coats or other hanging clothing. A nice full-size mirror, you don't see that very often. And then you go right into the bedroom with a king-size bed. You got individual comforters. There's a nice seating area over here and a desk. Pretty sizable, it's got everything you need there. Let's go check out the bathroom. It's a little small, but it's got everything you need. Got the toilet, sink, and shower. There aren't any included toiletries, but they do have a dispenser for shampoo and soap, and even a hairdryer. Overall, looks pretty nice.
After settling into our hotel room, we took a walk around town and we decided to eat dinner at Arresten restaurant. And I got the Arresten barbecue burger, and this looks really good. It's got pickles, lettuce, bacon, cheese, onion. Very good.
I got the barbecue spare ribs, which smell delicious. And it comes with fries and a salad, and I think some coleslaw as well. A very American combination. So let's try these ribs. Very tender looking. Fall off the bone tender. Very well seasoned meat. It's not just like plain meat. It's got some kind of seasoning on it. That's a really good barbecue.
You're making me jealous. Dinner was absolutely delicious. My burger was very good, very juicy. Jeremy's dinner was probably the better of the two. Those spare ribs were incredible. So if you're in Andenes, you should definitely come to Arresten. And now we're going to head to the pier to see some things, and it looks like the sun could be visible, which would be maybe the first time in several days that we've seen the sun. It's just been clouds, clouds, clouds. So let's head over. At 11 p.m., the sun was low in the sky and casting a golden glow over the land. But because of how far north we were, it wasn't going to go below the horizon. They call it the midnight sun for a reason. We headed towards the historic lighthouse built in 1859, and at 40 meters tall, it's pretty hard to miss. This turned out to be a perfect spot to enjoy the view. I think we've discovered that walking out to the lighthouse in Andenes is super worth it. This view is incredible. There are tons of different small islands behind us, and the mountains are just kind of majestic. Plus, we actually have a sunset going on here.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And we even saw some eagles. We're gonna enjoy the sunset, and we'll see you in the next one. Very good. The Lofoten Islands are known for just being the most.
The most.
The most. And they're always super clean too.
I don't know about that.
They're always in nice condition.
Car Really?
It's very messy to have in the car, but
Yeah, we should be eating this outside. So we'll take you on. What?
we'll take you on. Those are some antlers.
One of them is definitely pooping.
Look at that thing.
We took a walk around town and we settled on, where are we? So if you're in Andenes, you should definitely come to
Arresten.
and there's no rain. What more could you ask for? We even have like scenic cloud things. So